So I'm having a chat with Joey of KOYO. How are you?
I'm doing great. How you doing, Jim?
Yeah, not too bad here at 2000 Trees. How's
Yes.
your festival experience been so far?
Really great. Like, if I'm being totally honest, I knew nothing about the fest going into it. Like, I was just completely ignorant to the size, scope, scale of it. I was just like, okay, this is the last fest we're playing on this tour. And our set blew my mind. Obviously, the scope and scale of it has blown my mind. And also just just worth noting, like, the festival itself and the people who've been running it have been, like, super accommodating, super sweet. Like, sometimes fests are a little stressful and people get a little stressed. Like, 2000 Trees has been, like, it's been don't worry, we got you vibes the whole time. It's really cool. It's been refreshing.
And this is the end of your tour that you've just been on. How's
Yes.
the tour been?
Tour was crazy. No pessimism or, like, or ill intent in saying this, but just I didn't know what to expect. I didn't expect it to go quite as well as it did.
Yep.
Most of the shows sold out as far as the headliners, and obviously there were, like, fests and stuff weaved along the way. But I was really surprised and stoked that not only did these shows sell out all over the place, but, like, people knew the music and knew the band, like, just cool. Because I know there's, like, a culture in some places where it's like, oh, like, live music. Like, you're in a city, people just go to the pub to, like, see what's happening, like, but they don't necessarily know the band. I was really, like, shocked and super stoked. I'm like, oh, people know us, and Fleshwater, and psyched on it.
Good. And we're now gearing up towards the release of your debut record.
Yes.
What can people expect when they get a chance to take a listen?
That is a great question. I think I feel pretty confident in saying that they can expect the best version of more of the same. Like, we did not reinvent ourselves with this record at all. We obviously pushed the envelope in ways that made sense and, like, explored new paths of certain kinds. But the one thing we didn't want to do is write a super stripped down, slowed down, soft record. Like, not that our music is particularly hard or anything like that, but we wanted, like, a high energy record, something that felt urgent, something that felt even perhaps a little aggressive, and that's what we leaned into. So all those elements of the band, like, we just took that and turned it up a couple notches. So if people are psyched on, the high energy vibes of KOYO, the 10 digits away of sorts, like tracks like that, I think that's what you'll find a lot more of in this record than most other things.
Yeah, good. And when it comes to the writing side of things, how do tracks tend to start off for you guys? Is it a lyric, a riff, a melody?
It's kind of it's typically usually starts with guitar. Our guitar players Harold and TJ are the primary songwriters of the band, and then along the years I've also sprinkled some stuff as well. But they're the dominant people who write, and typically they're really good with, like, demoing stuff on Logic or, like, platforms like that. So they'll come with, like, rough ideas of songs kind of thrown together, and that's really easy for me to write. So from a lyrical standpoint, I'll just take those demos and just grind them out, listen over and over, find a nice place to sit, like out where I live, and just sit there and listen to the demos, or, like, even sometimes it's something like a phone recording of a riff, and even that is enough for me to suss out what I want to do vocally.
Yep.
And lyrically. And once we have that, we kind of build the song around those two components. So everything just kind of, like the leads, like Harold's vocal harmonies and whatnot, it's all kind of structured around what was instinct for the vocals after hearing the guitar.
Yeah.
So,
and when it comes to the lyric side of things, obviously, let's say the track is done. How easy do you find it to add your lyrics to what the song has been created? Do you find it fairly straightforward, or can it be a challenge at times?
There's obviously there's definitely moments where it's challenging. Like, especially in our case, this is the first time we've written a full record. Most of our output has been singles and little EPs. So this record is probably the most challenging it's been. But one thing I take a lot of pride in is, like, it's typically easier than you'd figure for me. Like, easier than I would imagine. Like, so much of what we do is, like, very instinctual, lyrically as well. Like, flow, melody, the whole nine. I have an easier time than I ever would have imagined. Like, once there's a vision, once there's, like, a lead on what it will take to complete a song, like, it usually flows out of us pretty nicely, myself included. So,
and when you write those lyrics, do they have to mean something to you? Do they have to make sense? Because I know some bands just cram some words in that fit the music.
See, for me, I am a very huge advocate for it has to mean something. Like, like, our guitar player Harold is also an amazing singer, amazing lyricist, like, multi-instrumentalist, very talented guy. And Harold, I'm sure, could write some incredible lyrics for our band. Yeah. But from day one, it's been, I want to write about my life, my experiences. I want to sing about my life, how I'm feeling. And when the well is tapped on that, I won't force it. So that might be the time where Harold could pop in and do some stuff too. But like I'm very adamant about like I only want to sing about real experiences, real feelings. I don't want to force anything. I'd sooner not put music together or let Harold take over in that regard than just force something out just to, put some words down.
And you've written obviously all the lyrics for these tracks and the previous ones. You've probably got lyrics saved for the future. Do you have a favourite lyric that's either already out there or one that you really want to use in the future?
That's a good question. Thinking on that in the immediate with the new stuff, it's we put out a single called Anthem recently, and perhaps it's a little cheesy, but there's the like breakdown, like big impact moment of the song. The line is, it's LIHC forever. If you don't get it, you can fall right off. And the reason we demoed that song years ago, the reason I like that line so much, and it's one of my favorites on the record, is our band kind of sits in between worlds. Like, our background is we're like a hardcore band and come from the hardcore scene, but obviously we're playing more melodic music, more accessible music, if you would. So our entity on all social media is KOYO LIHC because that's like the scene we come from and what we represent. But obviously a lot of people know our band from other channels, other backgrounds. They're not necessarily hardcore kids or anything of that sort, which is great because the goal is just play to as many people as we can. But anyways, the cool thing about that line is like it has like this double meaning where it's like it's Long Island hardcore forever. Like we represent that and love that and live by it forever. But it also is like it's KOYO LIHC forever. It's our band persists as its own entity, and it like means what it means to us and will like just be for the rest of our lives. It was like a totally eternal thing to us. So it kind of has this double intention that I really like.
Yeah, good. And people will want to see you live. Obviously, the tour's just finished, and you'll be into album territory now. What's the plan for touring, and where can people see you?
So for the rest of the year, we're going to be, we have like a week of shows with Bayside right as we get back from this. Actually, a continuation of the tour we did with them and I'm the Avalanche in the States a couple months ago. Mm-hmm. So that'll be in the Northeast. We have a couple shows with Thursday as well in the fall coming up. And then the rest of the year, we're going to be announcing some record release shows in New York, New Jersey, and California. They'll be like fly-out type events. Yep. And then a couple more international things to wrap out the year. And then turn of the year going into 2024, we'll be doing a headliner and an album release tour and all the things you'd hope with the record coming out. But the rest of the year is like select things regionally, and then back to the eternal touring grind.
So is it next year then you're hoping to be back over here?
Yes, exactly. There's plans right now for mainland Europe in December, but I'm not sure if the United Kingdom is in the cards until next spring, summer. But we will 100% be back.
Yeah, great stuff. Now, as a relatively new band, you must have a bunch of aspirations and things you want to achieve. What's one thing, if you had to pick, that you want to achieve as a band?
That's a very good question. I think if I had to pick any one quick thing that jumps to mind is I want to tour with Taking Back Sunday. Taking Back Sunday is the reason our band essentially exists.
You got a new single out.
Yeah, and it's good.
They're back.
It's dope. They're back at it. Like I love that band. Like that is like my gateway to alternative music. Like when we started this band, it's like Taking Back Sunday, Silent Majority, and The Movie Life were like the mission statement. Yep. And we've had the privilege of playing with so many of the bands that have influenced us, doing so many of these shows with bands that I never would have imagined we got into. TBS is like the last one on the list. So
nice.
Taking Back Sunday tour, and I'm good. I'm happy.
Good for you. Excellent. Well, it's been great having a chat with you.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate it so much. Seriously.
Yes, thank you.